Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you once again. This time we're going to go over to CNN, and this is in the NFL column. It says former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant subpoenaed for his texts with Brett Favre about a drug company linked to the ex-NFL quarterback. I will list the article writers and all of the details in the description, as I always do. And, okay. Former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant has again been subpoenaed amidst an ongoing civil suit in a multi-million-dollar welfare fraud scandal. And this time, attorneys want to see communications between the ex-governor and the former NFL Football Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre. Attorneys for one of the defendants in the state of Mississippi suit issued the subpoena Friday, asking for several years' worth of additional documents and communications between Brett Favre and as well as others connected to the case that auditors say resulted in a $77 million in federal welfare being misspent. The lawsuit stems from an investigation into how the state spent tens of millions of dollars in federal money that was intended to go to the most needy, according to the state auditor. The subpoena was filed by attorney representing August Smith, who is being sued by the state. Smith is the nephew of John Davis, the former Mississippi Department of Human Services director, who pled guilty to state and federal charges related to the welfare scheme last month. The state is suing Smith for the return of more than $425,000 in welfare contracts it alleged were paid to him by a nonprofit that received the money for his uncle. Smith's attorney had said in filings that he was unaware of the payments he received came from Temporary Assistance for Needy Families Fund. The October 7th subpoena is part of Smith's defense efforts, in which his attorney have argued the state unfairly chose only certain individuals to include in its massive civil lawsuit to recoup the stolen funds. Nothing he and 37 other people and entities were named, but others like Bryant were not. Much of the new wide-ranging subpoenas focus on text documents and other communication related to the pharmaceutical company Prevexus and its corporate affiliate PreSol-MD. Favre was the largest individual outside investors and holders of corporate stock in Prevexus, according to the state's lawsuit. The former quarterback also at times served as the spokesman for a concussion drug it was manufacturing. The state's civil lawsuit alleges that in 2018, Favre encountered Prevexus CEO Jacob Van Landeham to solicit nonprofit founder Nancy New to the MDHS grant proceeds to invest in the stocks of Prevexus. New, that's the person's name, has already been criminally convicted in the scheme and agreed to cooperate with authorities in ongoing investigations. Over the next year, more than $2 million in welfare funds were divided to the company for the purpose of securing clinical trial sites to be located in Mississippi in order to promote an experimental anti-concussion drug, but according to the state's lawsuit, was instead used to buy stocks in Prevexus for the people involved in the scheme. Whoa, this is deep. Favre's spokesperson on Sunday night declined to comment on the latest filings. Bryant's attorney, William H. Quinn II, told CNN the subpoena is a legal tool being misused for political purposes. We will respond in due course. CNN also left messages with Van Landerham's attorney at his residence, but neither were returned Sunday evening. Reporting from Mississippi Today earlier this year revealed text messages obtained by journalist Anna Wolf. Please make sure you go check her out on Twitter. I do follow her on Twitter. Please make sure you go follow her to get the latest about this. She has done an amazing, side note, an amazing job just putting out the information and reporting on what's going on, from the biggest detail to the smallest minute detail. She has definitely, she's definitely putting in work. Let me just say that. Between Favre and the then Governor Bryant discussing Prevexis with Favre, Wolf also reported that texts show Bryant agreed to accept a stock option offered days after he left office, but the former governor severed any ties with the company after 6 people, including New and Davis, were arrested in February of 2020 for connection to the welfare scheme. CNN has not independently verified the text messages that appear in Mississippi Today, but Bryant did give an interview to Mississippi Today about the exchange. In the interview, Bryant acknowledged he doesn't look good, but maintains he did not know public funds were being used for Prevexis. Even though Favre said in a text to Bryant there was funding for the company from the state of Mississippi. Whoa. Bryant said he did not read his text carefully enough and failed to notice or connect the dots in terms of being funding source. He insisted in an interview with Mississippi Today that he never asked for, received, or wanted stock in that company. The text between Favre and Bryant, published in Mississippi Today, are requests in the October 7th subpoena issued by Smith's attorney. It isn't the first time communications with the quarterback have came up as part of the civil lawsuit related to the misspent welfare funds. Text messages released last month allegedly shows Bryant worked to help Favre obtain funds to build a volleyball facility at the University of Southern Mississippi. Favre played football for the school from 1987 to 1990, and his daughter plays volleyball there from 2017 to 2020. Mississippi Today has reported that at least $5 million of the welfare funds were channeled to build the volleyball facility. Neither Smith, Favre, or Van Landerham nor Bryant have been criminally charged with anything related to this matter. Bryant also has not been named as a defendant in the state's civil lawsuit. Smith, Van Landerham, and Favre, however, are all named as defendants in the state's large civil suit trying to claw back some of the funds misspent in the scheme. And that is the latest in terms of that. I've did several videos about this. And my thing is, all of them need to be charged. All of them need to be on those charging documents. All of them need to be in court. All of them need to go to jail, pretty much. If it was the other way around, if it was just a regular state employee, and someone not high up on the totem pole as the names that were mentioned in here, their asses would be in jail with no bail and everything else right about now. I don't see what makes them different, because either they're a manufacturer of a drug, a former governor, or a former quarterback for the NFL who just happens to be in the Hall of Fame. They all need to be punished fairly and accordingly to the law. That's how I feel about it. It's truly disgusting. And like I said, these are the same type of people that will sit around at their dinners and their functions and make fun of the very same people that they stole from. It's like, for me, if I had to use an analogy, it's Robin Hood in reverse. Instead of Robin Hood robbing the rich to give to the poor, the rich is robbing the poor. The rich is robbing the poor, okay, to give to the rich. And that's basically how I feel about it. And I will definitely keep you updated, as I always will and have, about this story or any other story that I do in my channels. Thank you so much for watching this video. And with that, I'm going to sign off, but I will meet you in the comment section.